Sure. All right, go again. There, that's how easy it is for my 5'1" wife to get on and off the bike. It's easier if she gets on first. All right, good morning, YouTube. Want to send a little shout out to Andrew Zoll and his friends Mike Jones and his wife Lee in Australia on the Gold Coast. Andrew had some questions about the Indian Pursuit because they're hard to get a hold of in Australia. I didn't get a test ride on mine either. I road tested a couple of Challengers, which I guess are also hard to get a hold of in Australia. But it had been probably a year between when I road tested the Challenger and when I actually got my hands on my bike. And to get a ride on my Pursuit, I had to order it, put money down, and wait for it to come in. Like so many other people had to do the same thing. My local dealership does actually have one base model Pursuit on the sales floor right now that's available for test rides, and you can look at it, handle it and stuff, but that's pretty rare. So he had some questions about the cable for the trunk apparently rubbing the fender, which mine has already done. This is the underside of the Torpac. So we've got this wiring here that all comes into the Torpac. You probably can't see, but the wire runs here and it lays right on the fender right behind the seat. Now you can see. So you can see the wires up there. Maybe. Yeah. That one wire, there we go, off to the left side of the fender. You can't really totally keep it off the fender. You can zip tie them up there a little bit and that sort of helps, but some sort of protective film is really kind of necessary. The wires actually go through the seat and then come to the Torpac, and I've got it tied up a little bit better than it was, but it's still going to rub a little, kind of no matter what you do. And there's like a little hook up here. But it really doesn't do much either. There's a little hook there that they're supposed to go under to try and keep them off the fender. Actually, that does look like it probably works. But that Torpac is heavy, and it's quick release, but it's not that easy to take off and put on. You won't just take it off to ride for the day and throw it back on. It's not easy to take on and off, even though it is quick release. So I just leave mine on all the time, and if you want to protect the paint from that wire, tie it up with some zip ties and maybe put some sort of protective film on the fender to protect it from the wire. We will show my wife and I getting on and off the bike in a couple different ways. And we talk about wind buffeting and stuff in a later video. So I thought I would quickly discuss things I don't like about the bike. My left-hand saddlebag leaks water. The right one does not. The Torpac does not. The other bags do not leak. Only the left-hand saddlebag. And there's a video addressing that, and you can see what's going on in the video. And I have taken this up with Indian, but I haven't heard anything back from them yet. So hopefully they make good on that. Another thing I don't like, the GPS, the navigation system on the bike, it works, but it's really not the best. the GPS in your phone is better by a lot. And if you have an Apple phone, you can use the Apple CarPlay on your bike, and you probably won't have any issues. You won't use the GPS that's in the bike because you'll be using the CarPlay and what's in your phone. But the bike does not have Android Auto, and I do not have an Apple phone. I have an Android phone. So I'd rather use my Google Maps or what have you off my phone, but I can't connect it to the bike through the CarPlay thing. There is a workaround for that. I haven't tried it. It's rare that I even use the GPS. And when I have had to use it, it's always gotten me there until yesterday. And yesterday was a big ride, big group ride that somehow I ended up leading. I don't know how that happened. I normally wouldn't try to lead any kind of group ride. But somehow that happened, and we didn't have addresses on our map. So it was just like directions. It worked out because my wife held the map and read the directions from the back seat through while we rode, and it was fine. So I didn't end up really using the GPS at all. But if I hadn't had her back there to be the navigator and read the directions and the map, I'd have been screwed because there were no addresses to go to on the directions we were given for this ride. So the bike couldn't find the places. The GPS on the bike could not find the places. The GPS on my phone could, but for some reason, the voice directions for the GPS on my phone that would normally come through my helmet will not come through my helmet, my Sena system, while the helmet's paired to the bike. So I'm going to unpair my helmet from the bike so that I can use my phone GPS. But those are the only things I can complain about this bike, are that the GPS, it works, but it's not the best, and the saddlebag leaks a little water. We'll see what my wife says when she comes out here in a minute. So I'm going to pause this for a minute and we'll bring her in. Is there anything you don't like about the bike as the passenger riding on the back?
I don't think so. Everything on the bike as far as for the passenger goes, I think is very comfortable, and I don't really have any complaints about anything. So I can say no, honestly.
And after like an 8 or 10 hour ride, because we did have one of those, how's the seat at the end of the ride?
The seat for me is perfect. On our old vintage, my tailbone would hurt after a good few hours on there, and it would be rough. And so far, on all the rides we've taken, I haven't had any issues with my butt being fatigued or anything like that. I feel great. So. Yeah.
And how's your legs? Like sitting on the floorboards?
Perfect.
You don't get cramps in your hips or anything like that?
No, the old bike, same thing. I would get like the bottoms of my thighs would hurt along with the tailbone, but this one, I've yet to experience anything like that with this seat and the backrest and the armrests. So it's been good so far. I haven't had any problems.
All right. Well, let me put your floorboards down, and we'll show you getting on and off. And we'll show you getting on and off with me on the bike too.
Okay. So I usually just kind of hop over and then I get back on. No problem there. And then usually I'm getting off with you already on, but normally I can just hop right down. And it's perfect.
So then with me already on the bike.
And so with him on, then I have to put my foot first, and then I just kind of squish in until I can position myself comfortably. And then we're on, and then when I get off, I just make sure that he's ready, and I just kind of slide off and bring my leg off.
So pretty easy.
Yeah, pretty easy. You know, I don't usually have any issues. So.
And if we had the tour pack off, would it be easier to get on and off?
I think it would be the same. I think it might be a little easier because if you were on, then this wouldn't be there to kind of snug into, but I think it would be the same.
Yep.
So.
And you'd rather ride with it on?
And I'd rather ride with it on. I like the backrest, I like the armrests, and I'm perfectly comfortable back there. There's plenty of room for me. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so what's it like back there?
What's it like back here? It's great. It's very comfortable. You know, you being in front pretty much minimize the majority of the wind. So I don't really get hit with wind at all unless it's coming from the sides or it's a really windy day. But even then, it's nice. The armrests on the back of the seat are very comfortable. I like that.
What do you think of the heated seat?
Love that. I've only used it once, I think, since we had it when we took our trip over to Idaho, or when we rode the Rattlesnake Ridge, and we used it, and man, that really helps 100%. So it pays to have that, that's for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, I enjoy that.
How's this compare to the other bikes we've had?
Comfortability is there's much more to that on this bike, obviously, but this is a bigger bike and better bike, and we have the tour pack, so I can carry all kinds of stuff with me if I want. We can bring stuff back because we have all the compartments. So there's like extra bonuses, and plus all the fancy stuff for the maximum comfort that I enjoy. But yeah, I mean, I loved our old bike too, but this one, yeah, is definitely much more comfortable for longer rides.
And you don't feel like your helmet's getting rattled around by the wind or anything like that?
No, not at all. Of course, we live in a windy city, so sometimes when it's really windy, yeah, but majority of the time, 90% of the time, I don't ever have any wind issues.
Cool.
But again, I'm short, so you block all the wind coming from the front. If it was a taller person, maybe a different experience for them, but if you're small and in the back, it works.
How is it getting on and off? Because you're like 5'1".
Yeah, I'm pretty short and I'm a chubby girl, but if I get on first, it's a lot easier because there's nobody in my way. I can still get on if you're already on, but you know, I gotta lift my leg up higher than it should go because I'm short. If you have nice long legs, then you know, it's probably easy, but I don't really have any complaints. It's, you know, getting on first, there's all kinds of room. I just, you know, get on and slide back, and then getting off, I just kind of slide off as well. So for a short person, it's really not too bad. I'm about 5'1",